Welcome back to my series, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We are talking about the human design system and specifically the energy types in human design. We've already gone over the manifesting generators and the generators, and we already went over the projectors and the manifestors. So if you are just tuning into this video, make sure you go back and watch the other ones. Today, we are going to be talking about the reflectors, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the TikTok human design world, because I was recently informed that there are some crazy theories on TikTok about human design. So while I'm doing this series, I figured I might as well touch base on them. So if you are a reflector, if you know a reflector, or if you're curious about what the hell is happening in the TikTok world, stay tuned. This video is for you. The last energy type is going to be the one that you probably hear the least about, and it's because they are just the smallest percentage of the world and quite possibly the most unique design type that we have. So these are the reflectors of the world. If you are a reflector, you beautiful little angel, you are so unique. You're so unique. So the way that this works is when you look at someone's human design chart, as I explained before, there's going to be all of the centers, and they're either going to have color, which means they're defined, or they're going to have white, which means they're open. As a reflector, they only have open centers, which means they only have white in their chart. It stands out when you see a reflector's chart. There is no question what energy type they are. They are 1% of the population. That is how unique they are. Now, the reason that the reflector has all of these open centers is they're really here to reflect the identity of the collective consciousness rather than having an identity of their own. So they're really the mirrors of society. How are we doing as a whole? And so reflectors are very, very influenced by their surroundings, by current events that are happening, by the people that are in their life, by the experiences that others are having. They are really so empathic because they are taking on everyone's energy at all time, because they're really reflecting back to all of us what we need to know about ourselves so that we can start living our design. And that's why their aura is considered resistant and sampling. So the signature for a reflector is surprise. When a reflector is getting surprised in their life, that's when they are living their design the best. Now, when it's time to pivot is when a reflector is finding disappointment, continuous disappointment, because that is really their not self theme, the disappointment. So in all of these situations, we're all trying to go towards our signature, and we're always trying to move away from our not self theme, because our not self theme is where we find the most resistance, and our signature is when we're in flow with the universe. Now, with everything with the reflectors, the other magnificent piece that can be very difficult for a reflector in their earlier years in life, since no one programs them to really honor this. That's why one of the most fulfilling readings I ever do is for a parent of a reflector, because I know that it changes the life of the reflector. The earlier we learn our human design and we learn to follow it, because it's always consistently true for us, we're just taught not to. We have to deprogram ourselves and decondition ourselves as adults. But the sooner you learn about your human design, the more you can embrace it, and the more your parents can parent you towards honoring that. One of the most difficult things for a reflector is they are really synced with the moon and with the lunar cycles. It's the only thing in the sky that changes that much. It's every 30 days. All of the other planets, they have a very long time before they are changing signs and before they are going through these phases. The moon is going through a constant phase, and the reflectors, in order to make their decisions and really interact with the world, they need time. In all aspects of their life, they really ideally need about 30 days to really sit with it, to see how something feels for them. So as a reflector, you really need to honor that. And as much as you can, allow yourself to have the time and the space before you decide to do something, before you commit yourself to something, before you go on vacation, before you decide to move, whatever the case may be. In every situation, if you can learn to adapt a 30-day processing time, it's going to allow you to fully commit to the things that are really meant for you, instead of committing because you feel like you have to, because you weren't ever told that you can have this much time. That is basically the foundational pieces of each of the energy types in human design. And if you start learning this and learning the system, this is really what you want to start with, learning and understanding this aspect of the human design, so that way you are able to learn and implement the other aspects. Because ultimately, if you're learning about human design and you don't have a good grasp on these areas, you might feel a little overwhelmed about the rest of the areas, and you might not be able to apply it as easily. I had a friend who was visiting, a friend from New York who was visiting, and she was like, you should really be making TikTok videos about human design. That's how I learned human design. She was like, but there's a lot of people on the TikTok community that are really saying that it's a pyramid scheme. And I remember we were on the beach when she told me this, and I was flabbergasted. Like, what? Like, a multi-level marketing scheme? This is what people think human design is? And it took me a little bit to sit with this, because I'm not a TikTok person. I pretty much just repurpose my Instagram reels on TikTok. I was never one of those people that spent hours and days on TikTok. So the whole TikTok world, I need someone to tell me, otherwise I'm not gonna know, which is fine, I don't need to know. But when I sat and thought about it, I realized it's because when you pull up your body graph, you can learn a certain amount, and then you would need to pay to learn more. And oftentimes when people give human design readings, they're in tears. But it's not to make more money from you as a person. It's not to scam you. It's because to really implement and understand, you need to understand the foundational. And most people just want to have all of the information and really be able to just read all of it for free, and then they're just like, okay, we're done. But you're not actually able to apply it tangibly when you are given that information. It's going to be too overwhelming. Human design combines multiple esoteric belief structures and then also combines modern science, and it would be way too much for you and for your human brain, especially because you're deconditioning. So you really do need to learn human design in small bite-sized chunks, specifically the foundational pieces that are the most applicable to you. In case you are a TikTok person and you have heard that as well, this was just channeled through to me to share this information. So someone in the collective conscious needed to know it. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that human design is a very comprehensive system, that even as people that are human design readers, we go back to the system often to make sure that we are integrating it all. Human design is not a system that's going to teach you brand new information. It's really going to remind you of the information that you've always inherently known. You just probably didn't have words or licensing to be able to know it and apply it in a way that you could explain to others. Hope that you got a lot of value out of this video. I gave you a lot of information about your human design type, your energy type, and really the strategy and the aura and the signature and the not self themes. So this is really the most foundational pieces. With your authority, there was just too much that I couldn't also include your authority, but let me know if you want me to do a video on the authorities. I would be happy to break them down. All right, until next time, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get the latest videos. I am going to be posting multiple videos a week from now on, so get excited. Subscribe to my channel to see when they're released. Hit that bell notification to be the first to know when they're released. And if you liked this video, do me a favor and hit that like button so that other people can learn about human design too. All right, I love you so much, and we'll talk soon.